Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog .stampwithelaine.com. Today I'm using a masking technique. It's been around forever, but if you use a mask, it will make the stamps that you subsequently stamp appear as though they're behind the first image that you stamped. Does that make sense? This is the card we'll be making, and the materials you need are We Must Celebrate. I've got it in clear mount, but it's also available in wood. The same goes with this one. This is a background stamp. It's a single stamp. It's called Tree Rings, and it's also available in clear. To make this card, you need a crumb cake base that measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 7/8 inches. That's 21 centimeters across and 14.85 centimeters this way. With the long side on top, you score at 4 1/8, that's 10.5 centimeters, and fold it in half. The berry burst matte layer measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8, that's 13.7 centimeters by 9.2 centimeters. And then the whisper white layer is 5 1/4 inches by 3 3/8 inches, that's 13.3 by 8.6. You need Tuxedo Black Memento ink and crumb cake ink, and also a black Stampin' Up marker, and the combo packs for Smoky Slate, crumb cake stamping blends, and the lighter of the pink pirouette, or is that the darker? The light pink pirouette, and the ivory skin tone. 2017 to 19 in colour markers, and the Tutti Frutti adhesive back sequins. Clear mount, you have to have clear blocks, and mine has been mounted on a block C, A and G. Now, this stamp actually comes as one piece, but in order to create more versatility, I've actually chopped the stamp up into 4 so that all the critters are separate. Now, being clear mount, that's not a problem, because then you can reassemble them like a jigsaw. Just pick it up with the large block and it'll be whole again, and you can stamp it at one piece. First, I'm going to ink up the tree ring background stamp in crumb cake, and I'm taking my ink pad to the stamp rather than the other way round because it's just too big to hold. If you have a piece of scratch paper, make sure which side is the front of your card. Pop it on the block and just rub your hand over it. Next, I'm going to glue my coloured cardstock, this is Berry Burst, so that I don't lose it, straight onto my card front, and I'm just going to angle it so that the corners will touch each edge more or less, and then allow it to dry. With masking, I want to stamp the largest image, so that's the bear. So I'll pick that up, and with my Memento Black ink, I'll stamp the image on a post-it note, and this is the sticky end, so I'll stamp it there. Peel it off and use your paper snips to cut around the image. Now, I cut inside the line so that there won't be a step between that image and the next image you stamp, so there's no gap there, and that's a little tip. So I've already pre-cut my bear from before, and I also want one of the bunny rabbit. Okay, so I'll use those. Tuxedo Memento Black ink, And I'm going to, ooh, I've already smudged my paper. Turn it around the other side. Stamp it there, then put my bear on. Next I want the rabbit, so put the rabbit on my C block and stamp him so that he's just peeping out from behind the bear. Next I want to mask the rabbit. And pop the squirrel on. Ink up the squirrel and stamp the squirrel. Change stamps. This time I want the raccoon, and I want the raccoon by the bear. Next you remove your masks, and as you can see the figures look as though they appear behind the bear. Next, stamp the confetti. Stamp this sentiment here, "We're behind you all the way." Lastly, I'll stamp the little snail in this corner. Take your black marker with a thin end. There's a thick end and a thin end. This is a journaler. It's also called a Stampin' Up marker in basic black. And I'm just going to scribble a few lines here to look as though they're standing on something. And I'm going to save my masks and put it back in the box so I can use it for next time. There's really not much opportunity for shading because these images are so small. So I'm just going to use the one colour with the raccoon. I'm just going to colour him in the darker smoky slate. With the squirrel, I'll colour him in the lighter grey, smoky slate, sorry. I ought to use the correct name for these, shouldn't I? So I'll leave his breast white. Colour the rabbit's nose in pink pirouette and the inside of his ears. And then use the ivory skin tone to colour the rest of the rabbit in. For the bear, I'll colour it in crumb cake. I'll bring in the markers to do a bit of colouring on the confetti. So here's a little trick. I think I'll use this sweet sequin to cover up the smudge here. Bring back my card, and this time I want this to be straight and square against the card base. So, Tombow on the back, bone folder to spread the glue evenly. So a super quick and easy project. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, then please give me a thumbs up, subscribe or share on Facebook if you haven't already, and my grateful thanks if you do. If you're watching from YouTube, you'll find the list of supplies I use below this video in the Show More section with direct links to my online store. They'll also be listed on my blog at blog.stampwithelaine.com. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye.